Welcome to your perfect year. No matter where you are in your career, what genre you write, or how often you release, this is a guide to help you plan the perfect strategy for successful self-publishing. You don't need to write fast and release often because I've got a plan for all levels of speed, starting with the average indie author who puts out 2 books a year, right up to the superstars who publish 4, 5, and even 6 or more times a year. So it doesn't matter where you fall in that timeline, this little course can help you. So let's get started. Let's start with my background. So I'm Huss. I write romance, romantic suspense, erotic romance, kind of dark. And I've sold over 1 million books since 2012, and I've made over $1 million since that time as well. And I have more than 35 fiction books published at this point. I'm a New York Times bestseller with a standalone book at full price. I'm a USA Today bestseller. I made the USA Today bestsellers list 6 times in 2016. I have a bachelor's of science degree in equine science from Colorado State University. I have a master's of science in forensic toxicology from the University of Florida. I have produced over 200 nonfiction books since 2008 with my little science curriculum company that I used to run. I have made over 150 online courses for those science books since that time. I'm a web designer, I'm a graphic designer, and I'm a self-taught student of online marketing since 2007. First of all, I sell a lot of books by most standards. I'm not interested in being a self-publishing guru. I'm never giving up my day job, which is writing fiction. You won't see me doing podcasts, and I probably will never charge for a course at this point. I am not an expert in anything other than writing and selling J. Huss books, so we can get that out of the way right now. I'm not here claiming to be an expert on any of this. I'm only an expert in what I do for myself. This course is not a silver bullet that will turn you into me, and I sell books at full price, $3.99 for an ebook, on all platforms that I choose to do business with, which are Nook, iTunes, Amazon, and Kobo. This is not a Kindle Unlimited strategy, so please keep that in mind. While this strategy could work for KU, I don't know much about that market, so I can't tell you. I have used all the different versions of KU at one point in time, but it's not something that interests me. And everything that I tell you about in this course comes from my long-term thinking and desire for stability in a very unstable job as an artist. So the main difference between me and most of the self-publishing authors out there is that I'm consistent. This picture here is my 2016 release year. I have 6 full-length novels. 5 of those are in a series. 1 is a standalone. And I actually released 10 audiobooks in 2016, but I ran out of room, so I picked my favorite covers and put those up. And I guess you're probably going to be like, well, you write fast. Good for you. This works for you. And I do write fast, and so I'm lucky that I can get this many books out. But if you stick through the program, the very last video is going to show you how you can adapt what I do for your writing schedule. So this is not a program about writing fast or releasing often at all. It's not what it is. So stick with me and I'll explain a little more. So why make a plan? If this course is called a successful release strategy, that implies you're making a plan. And you are. And the reasons are, it's the same for anybody. Why make a plan about anything? Why does anyone go to work? Well, they go to work because they want to get paid, right? You have to pay bills. Why is getting a good job a life-changing event? If you get a giant raise, that changes everything. Your whole lifestyle changes because you can afford more. You might have less stress in your life. And it's just a big change. And what does it mean to be a full-time writer? I'm gonna show you as you go through the course. And what you need to ask yourself at the end is, do I want to be a full-time writer? Because yes, there's a lot of people out there making really easy money, and I have had months where I've made really easy money. But if you want to be in this game 5 years from now, the easy money isn't enough. You need a plan, and that's what this course is. So, first thing you should ask yourself is, why are you writing? And I have come up with 3 categories of writers that I've noticed in the self-publishing world over the last 5 years. There are opportunists, there are artists and storytellers who kind of do it as a hobby, and then there are authors, those of us who want to make a career out of this. So if you want to write books full-time, or make a full-time living at the very least, even if you don't want to quit your job, then you have to take your creative gift, that artist and storyteller part of you, and your ability to make money into consideration at the same time. So you kind of need to be an opportunist and an artist storyteller at the same time in order to be a successful author. Most people writing at this time fall into the category of opportunists. Almost everybody starts out this way. They want to make some money, they see somebody making some money, and they're like, I need to get on that gravy train right now. Well, that's well and good, and there's lots of ways that you can make fast, easy money in this business. But again, this little course is for the people who want to be around 5 years from now. So keep that in mind. And the people in the opportunist category use gimmicks to make sales. And don't be offended by my word gimmick. It's just a word, okay? They use 99-cent sales. They use multi-author box sets. They use multi-author newsletter promos to grow their mail list. And they use Kindle Unlimited. I am not telling you not to use these things. All I'm telling you is, you see that red box around that stuff? Well, you got to get out of that box. And this is what I'm going to help you do. Because those things are inside the box, and innovators and successful, like hugely successful people, they are always outside the box. So I'm telling you, if you want to make the move from opportunist to long-term career author, you need to recognize that you must eventually shift away from gimmicks and turn towards stability. And we all have a certain idea in our heads of what stability is. And there's the definition right there. You can read it for yourself. But for me, stability is this. Stability is my graph in my dashboard, my Amazon dashboard. Okay? When I release a book, I want to know I'm going to release a lot of books, and then I'm going to have a nice, steady valley of sales, if you will, until I release my next book. So I call that the new release peak and the steady sales valley. I want my days to be very, very consistent. I'm not interested in selling, big differences of books from day to day. I want it to be the same. Like, that's my goal. So this is where I'm coming from in this course, is if you want your graph to look like this, then you should probably stick around. This is a graph from August through October 2014. So that's my Stability 2014 graph. This is my Stability 2016 graph. This month just ended last week. So you can see, this is still happening for me. I have a new release peak and I have steady sales valley. And I'm pretty happy with that month. It went really well. So this is what we're aiming for in this course. I am going to show you how I got here. And obviously I've been here for 2 years. 14, actually, all of 14, all of 15, and all of 16. So 3 years I've been publishing with graphs that look like this from month to month. Even if you look at my beginning of my December before my new release, you'll see my sales were pretty low. They were in the 100s per day. And that's pretty low for me, because my average is about 250 to 300 between releases if I'm not advertising. But it was November, the election. It's kind of crazy. But still, they were the same from day to day. And if I were to go back in that graph and show you my November, it is a flat line all the way across. So yeah, they were a little low that month, but it was still a flat line. So I was still pretty happy with it. So what does it mean to be a writer? I have this really great quote from F. Scott Fitzgerald. Because that's what people think we are, right? We're a bunch of drunks. We sit around. We don't do anything. We're Californication-it, Hank Moody and his crazy life. And although I kind of like Hank Moody, and I wish I was Hank Moody. I don't understand how he makes money. How does he make money? Because he only wrote one book. And I know, like, there's books out there that do that. Like, most of them write more than one, though. So I'm not sure any of them are good examples in this case. So I don't know. I think he's a really bad example. And maybe writers of old. But I think in this day and age, self-publishing has kind of changed the industry a lot. And maybe there are no more Hank Moody's. Maybe it's sad, maybe it's not. But neither here nor there. You have to ask yourself, do you want to be a writer? So this is my office at the end of the release week for Mr. Match, which was a month ago. And that's actually pretty clean for my office at the end of release week. But like, this is what it is. It's a bunch of work. It's a bunch of papers. It's all that shit I have on my desk that, eventually I'm going to have to get to. Like, I have new hard drives that I need to copy files from, and I have swag all over the place, and cards and shit I never even open, mail, checks even. Sometimes I don't even get to open during the month. I'm so damn busy. So you have to ask yourself, like, your office doesn't have to look like this, obviously, but you can see the work that probably goes into my day to get an office like this. And you need to ask yourself, are you willing to work that hard? Because if you're not, you can just save yourself a lot of time and visits to my blog and check out right now. Because what I'm going to tell you involves work that results in an office like this. The first thing you have to know in self-publishing is that you have to know everything. You might not have to do everything like I do, because I really don't outsource anything. The only thing I outsource for is occasionally I'll hire a photographer to take some cover photos for me, or I'll hire an artist to make some drawings for me. But other than that, everything that I do myself. I make my own videos, I make my own covers, I format my own ebooks, I format my own paperback books. I upload everything myself. I do all my own marketing. I don't even have an assistant right now, except for my daughter, who helps me with the mail. And my son, who helps me. Sometimes he helps me, like, take the mail to the post office, because I just don't have time. So if you want to be an author, you have to understand all these things that go along with it. And my plan that I'm going to go over there's 9 videos total, so 8 more weeks. I'm going to try and release one each week, but seriously, I really suck at, like, delivering on shit like this, because writing always comes first, and then I have a new release next week, so yeah. But I'm going to try and get one up every week, and this is what we're going to go through. The 6 components to a perfect year. Now, the important thing you take away from this course is that it's all about timing. Timing is everything. And I'm going to explain it all in detail, like all these different components, as we go through the videos. And then the final video is showing you how to put it all together and make sense of it and make a year of it. So you have 12 months to fill, and I'm going to show you how to do that with these 6 components. And the calendar is your friend. We're in January, 2017 right now that I'm making this video. And so I'm going to show you how to plan the perfect year. Hopefully, you can follow along during the year, but you can start this at any time. You have to wait for January. So you can do your planning and start in August and start your year in August. But hopefully in 1 year I'll have some people coming back saying, yeah, that was a great year. Like, good, thanks, because this is what I do, and this works for me. And if you're not the same kind of person as me, this might not work for you, but if you are, you're in luck. So the other thing is, the next year is going to go by whether you do anything with it or not, okay? It's something I always told my kids when they were growing up. It's like, doesn't matter if you go to school now, but in 10 years, if you didn't go to school, those 10 years are still going to come back. Those 10 years are still going to pass by you. So do you want to do something now, or do you want to hang out for a couple years and do something later? Because 10 years from now, you're going to be looking back going, what did I do? So it's always better to start now than it is to wait, because time doesn't stop, man. Just keeps going. So in this course, I'm going to help you understand short-term consequences and marketing plans, long-term consequences and marketing plans, trends, a little bit about Amazon, Facebook, and especially fans. This course deals with finding fans, and you do that with these 6 components. And while you might not be able to control your fans, you have a much better chance of influencing them than anything else on that list right there. So, long-term career. The natural consequence of making a plan like the one I'm suggesting here is that by default you're going to build a career if you produce quality stories on a consistent basis, release using proven marketing techniques, know your craft, know your audience, and respect your fans. And then, hopefully, you get a career. Even if it's a small career, you got to start somewhere. So I hope this video was helpful for you. And the next time on The Perfect Year, we're going to go over how to use a cover reveal to get sales. And if you don't remember to come back and visit blogs on a regular basis, you can always fill out that little form below my video there, and I'll send you an email. I won't, but FeedBurner or whoever does it will. And then you don't have to come by every week. So thanks for listening, and hopefully I'll see you next Monday. You never know, but hopefully.